Hello and welcome to New Fast Food. We've got a lot to talk about today, including Burger King spotted testing a new burger, how to get Domino's delivered to your next picnic, and a phenomenal new deal from Wendy's. Let's get started. So we've talked a little bit already about how Burger King has started this new trend where they're basically just copying popular burgers from other restaurants and making them their own. This started about a year ago, and it just keeps continuing. And the latest version has just recently been spotted testing. This is the new Bacon and Swiss Sourdough King. And new has to be in quotation marks because this is basically exactly the same as Hardee's famous Frisco Burger. It's a sourdough burger with Swiss cheese, bacon, tomatoes. The whole thing is basically a ripoff of the Hardee's Frisco Burger. And now this is getting into the territory where Burger King, they're going to have to, at some point, acknowledge this in a press release or a commercial or something, because it's just becoming so blatant. I mean, let's take a look back. So they, of course, most recently came out with the Sourdough King, and of course that's a ripoff of the Sourdough Jack. They had the Bacon King, which of course is a ripoff of the Baconator. Same amount of bacon on each one of those. They had the Rodeo King, which of course is a ripoff of the Carl's Jr. Western Bacon Cheeseburger. They had the Double Quarter Pound King, which of course is a ripoff of McDonald's Double Quarter Pounder with cheese. They recently released their Frosted Frozen Lemonade, which is a ripoff of Chick-fil-A's basically a similar item. They ripped off the spicy chicken nuggets from Wendy's when Wendy's was done using them, and they replaced their oval-shaped chicken sandwiches, which were one of the most original items they had on their menu, with a round version, which is pretty much a copycat of every other restaurant out there. And then they just recently released the spicy chicken version of that, which is, has one at Wendy's and Jack in the Box. So yeah, they're ripping off two restaurants for the price of one with that one. So, people who follow fast food like me and you, we've been picking up on this trend for quite some time. I think it's just a matter of time before the general public picks up on this, and Burger King is going to have to acknowledge it somehow. I know a lot of publications have, sort of jokingly referred to this already, but the more and more this happens, I think it becomes less and less of a joke and more of reality that Burger King is just ripping off their competitors. Hey, it must be working for them because they keep on doing it. If they weren't selling a lot of these copycat burgers, then they wouldn't keep doing it. Burger King has been losing ground in recent years to restaurants like Wendy's and Taco Bell. It's really close. There's a big gap between McDonald's and Wendy's and Taco Bell and Burger King, but between those three, it's pretty close. So I think they're probably just looking for any little advantage that they can to crawl back up and past Taco Bell and Wendy's again, because right there behind McDonald's, Starbucks, and Subway, it's really close between those next three restaurants. So let me know what you think. Have you tried any of these copycat burgers or other items that Burger King has put out? How do you think they compare to the originals at the other restaurants? I'd be curious to know what you guys think. And do you agree with this strategy from Burger King? Do you like to see them sort of take on classic burgers at other restaurants and make them their own? Or would you prefer that they come out with original items so that there's always something new to taste? I'd be curious to see where you weigh in on that too. And again, this Bacon Swiss Sourdough King, it's just testing right now, but I think based on Burger King's love of copying other restaurants, I think this one has a really good chance of making it nationwide. All right, next up, let's talk about Domino's. They made a huge announcement recently that they were going to start delivering to over 150,000 what they're calling hotspot locations, where you can order a pizza and have it delivered without there being an address. They sort of rolled it out in their press release, claiming that it's good for people who don't have an address, which of course sounds like they're talking about homeless people. This move is actually targeted more at people who are throwing parties. So these hotspot locations, they could be places like parks, parking lots, landmarks. Pretty much, I don't know where they're getting their database from, but they probably have a database of locations without addresses, or actually some of them do have addresses, which is kind of interesting. But basically, they're delivering them to places where people will typically gather. For example, they're delivering to parks. So if you're throwing a birthday party in a park and you want pizza delivered to the birthday party, and now you can do that. You open up the app, you search for nearby hotspots, and it'll say, you know, Bill Smith Park. You can have your pizza delivered to the park. It'll have you enter information about where the delivery driver can find you within the park or the parking lot or whatever, and then you get your pizza delivered to your party. I think this is a really huge deal. It's a really almost game changer for the pizza industry, because I'm sure a good portion of their pizzas are delivered for things like birthday parties or tailgating parties, or, you know, just get-togethers where people aren't necessarily in their home, but they're out with friends and they just want to have a pizza delivered. I really think that this is going to be a real nice convenience thing for Domino's customers, or pizza customers in general, because Domino's is the only one doing this right now. Domino's is big on technology. You know, they state that they are not a pizza company. They are a technology company that just happens to sell pizzas as well. And you know, a lot of their stuff is kind of gimmicky. Being able to order a pizza via tweet or text message or Alexa or any other way that they've, you know, concocted. You know, I think a lot of those are pretty gimmicky. I don't think there's a lot of people that are taking advantage of those features. But a feature like this, I think, has the potential to be a real game changer and really redefine what people think about when they think about pizza delivery. I personally can't wait to take advantage of this feature and start having some pizzas delivered to places where people might not be expecting it. All right, next up, let's talk about Wendy's. They kind of snuck one in on us. They rolled out a new promotion nationwide and didn't really put out any press releases for it, no tweets about it. I was really surprised that this is kind of being kept under wraps. There are some commercials that are out there, so you may have seen the commercials, but for the most part, not a lot of websites or publications talking about this new deal. It's the Wendy's 2 for $6 deal, and you know, speaking of rip-offs, it's basically a rip-off of the Burger King 2 for $6 deal, but this is the Wendy's version. It's pretty much almost identical. You can get either the Dave's single, the crispy chicken sandwich, the spicy chicken sandwich, or their crispy chicken tenders. Pick any two of those for $6, and that's a great deal. You know, Wendy's, I think especially for the spicy chicken sandwich. A Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich is known as being one of the better spicy chicken sandwiches out there. So to get two of those for $6, or even the Dave's single is a quarter-pound burger. Or, I mean, any of these are going to be a good deal. 2 for $6. I don't think you can't go wrong. So there you go. It's good for the goose. It's good for the gander. Burger King is going to rip off something from Wendy's. Wendy's is going to rip off something from Burger King. I guess what goes around comes around, but I don't think that this copycat promotion from Wendy's is quite as egregious as all of the copycat items that Burger King is throwing out there. So go ahead. This is a great deal. 2 for $6 from Wendy's. This actually started about a week or two ago. So if you didn't know, now you do. It's a great deal from Wendy's. I recommend it if you're splitting a meal with a friend or just really hungry for 2 premium sandwiches. And I'm going to leave you with this. This is a YouTube video. It's called the Yo Quiero music video. It is a song that's dedicated to Taco Bell. When you watch it, there's no mistaking. This song is Taco Bell all the way through. It's by At the Real Rose or A the Real Rose. I'm not really sure. Sorry, how to pronounce that name. The song is fantastic. You have to listen to the words. Try to make out all the words because it's very obvious that a lot of love was put into the writing of this song. I think you're going to love it. There is a little bit of explicit text shown on the screen, so if you got kids that know how to read, proceed with caution. But aside from that, I recommend a watch here, the Yo Quiero music video. But that's enough out of me. Now it's up to you to continue the conversation down below. I want to know, what do you really think about Burger King and all of these copycat items? Are you for it? Are you against it? What are your thoughts? Leave me a comment down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. I release new videos twice a week. We talk about fun stuff every Tuesday and Friday, and you can watch more right now.